Well, Pisces, I got everyone's videos done earlier and I felt bad that yours was going to be so much later. I have to come to these readings with a completely open to hearing a message, and I needed a long break. So my thoughts are, there's a reason. My thoughts are that I somehow knew that there was going to be some really amazing message for you. And you have my complete focus by me taking the time to wait. So even if this showed up the next day, I might go ahead and drop it in the middle of the night, but we'll see. But if you wonder why yours came out so much later, you are not missing out at all, because I take breaks so that everybody gets my complete and full attention. So these are pre-shuffled, as you probably know. You've probably seen my videos before. Please hit like and subscribe. If this is not your story, please don't hit dislike. It's a general reading. I may not hit on everything, but I will tell you that I try to tell you enough about the cards that that you might see a variation on what I'm talking about, because I think that the cards that I draw probably are for everyone, but there's no way to give the variety of responses that will cover everybody's story who could be tuning in. So we'll be here for days, right? Well, that might be an exaggeration, but hours at least. So what I want to do is try to see if I can be more inclusive by letting you branch off into other directions from things that I might be seeing that you might see, right? And if you do have a slight variation on the story, or even a bigger variation, please let me know, because one of the reasons I became a reader is because I loved watching the tarot readings and I love doing my own readings at home. Never thought of myself as a reader because I'm like, everybody else is doing it. But I noticed that I didn't see what they saw. And I was like, you know what? There's something about how I'm seeing the cards that maybe I have a calling, and the people who need me will find me. And so that's why I'm here. I see you being victorious with your person. At least you are seeing the way towards that. And I think that you're going to achieve that by, laying down your weapons. Maybe you guys have been at odds for some reason. This could be a person that you're starting over with, a person that you're having relationship issues with, or maybe this is a new person, and you guys are getting to know each other and coming up against some complexities, but you're still drawn to each other, right? And a lot of times we feel these things deeply because we do have soul connections, right? And they're not always something we need to pursue, but I tend to take the point of view that if you feel strongly about it, then the best way to honor yourself is to see it through. Now, if honoring yourself involves walking on eggshells for weeks on end, then it starts to get questionable, right? So, anything I say, please know that there is a limit. I mean, if there's horrible things going on, then of course that wouldn't be included, right? Okay, so I see you're not really willing to start off with something passionate or restart it, whatever the case may be. You're worried that maybe this isn't meant to be. But see, you have to understand, since I don't read reversals as opposites, I see it as potentialities and things that you want to avoid and that kind of thing. I think you know deep down that you are meant to be, but your faith is shaken on it. I think you see this person as being marriage material, or at least some type of a committed relationship, that friendship with all the, and not FWB. When I say with benefits, I mean, a partnership, right? A true partnership, has all the elements, and I think that, that's why the commitment comes in, because you just want to have that safe space in each other that you can be yourself and be loved, right? And I see you know your person wants you. Your person is coming in for you, and you're preparing for it. That's probably why you see the victory here. Okay, I get that. But then why are you worried this is not meant to be? You see the victory. Let's see. Let me look at the vertical here. Well, you're a Queen of Cups, and in the reverse, so that probably has something to do with it. Okay, in the upright, so because you are the Queen of Cups, regardless if it's reversed. We'll talk about the reverse in a second, but you're you're mature in the sense of love, in what you have to give to a partnership, and you're ready to give that kind of love, but you're feeling a little uncomfortable giving love at this point. Why are they feeling... Okay, let's look at this row, see where the Queen of Cups is at. Okay, so in the upright, this person is juggling something that's infinite. That it's an infinite loop. This person knows they have to make a choice because they feel infinitely connected to you. So you kind of sense that these things, but you're worried about something. Like you're worried that that's not the case. A tower moment. You're afraid of a tower moment. Okay. Okay. I think I'm seeing something here, but I think I'm going to get clarification on if it's what I'm thinking. So you're feeling very connected, like you could have this, right? Maybe even marriage material. You know that if you start laying down your weapons and are vulnerable with each other, and you know this person really wants you, you're capable of giving that kind of love, but you're afraid of a tower moment. And at first I wanted to look over here and see your overall energy, and I see that you could have the world with this person. So I'm going to pull out some cards and try to figure out what it is that you think is going to be this tower moment that could shake your faith in what is going on with you guys. What is it? The angels and spirit guides, please open the veil. Please let me know. Huh. Okay, so I'm looking at this card for a minute because it speaks of having everything with this person, having it all together. And you know, like the 10 of Cups, which is, you know, happiness, family, children and stuff, this is having all these resources and being with someone you get to share it with. So that is what I'm thinking. But what, you know, and you think you could have the world with this person. Are you worried that this person has a lot more resources than you and may not find you as, you know, that perhaps that they will look elsewhere to find a more, somebody, I don't know, that you think that they might deem as more suitable? I mean, what is it that you're worried about in terms of their finding... Yeah, because if you're worried about a tower moment, and this is what you can have the world, you can have it all with this person, but you're worried about this tower moment. So wait, we just had a... I went to go shuffle again and this popped out, so I'm gonna actually, you know what, let's do this, because you know that you see that you could have the world with everything. These are kind of similar in that sense, but I asked specifically and this popped out. So the angels and spirit guides want you to know that I think you're afraid that your person needs some time to think about some things, and it might not include you. Oh, there's something that you need to share with your person that you think that they will walk away from you over. Okay, well, you know what? Let's see what your person thinks. But Pisces, you'll have to let me know in the comment section if you're working with something that you're afraid that they will walk away from you over. I don't want to get up in your business. I started to think about pulling a card to find out what's going on, but if you do know of something, and it doesn't apply to all of you. I mean, there might be some of you that's like, I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing here that I'm worried about a terror moment over, you know. So I don't want to start speculating on what it is that you're feeling discomfort with. But if you do know what it is, and you have a way of saying something without feeling strange about talking about it, I'd love to hear about it. Okay. And your person, let's see, let me get this in the view of the camera better. Yes, okay. You know what? While I was moving the cards, this one slid out, so I'm going to include that because that energy just made itself, just announced itself, basically. Okay. And we'll see what it means. This is your overall energy. What that is yet to be seen. Okay. All right. So your person sees fertile ground with you, like you, like that. You know, you're definitely the material for the. And I've seen this earlier in other readings, but they're not matched. But what they have in common is very grounded. You know. This Hierophant, you know, it believes in marriage and tradition, and or at least long-term commitment. And you see, your person is that, and your person sees this about you, right? Capable of having children, or at least a fertile ground for a relationship, right? You're their wish fulfillment. And they're afraid of what kind of work they'll have to do. So maybe they're sensing something is up that might take a little bit of work, and they're not real keen on it. They also know that the stability for you guys to have the 11-11 4 pillars, right? Your person is seeing you with 2. You're the 3rd one, and you're looking to the universe for the 4th. So there's some circumstances that are in your life that your person recognizes it as something that you're needing to deal with. You're afraid of the baggage they're afraid of the baggage that you're bringing. So they must be aware of some issue. And I don't like to assume that you guys have, Pisces, I'm not saying you've got baggage and all this stuff is going on. Sometimes there's a context that I haven't thought about until I read all the cards. So I hold back any specifics on this until I've seen it through. Your person knows that although they worry you're waiting on something from the universe that you have no control over, that you are capable of being your own stability. They know that you guys are mirroring each other here. They know that you want to come in and be with them. They have no doubt about that. They themselves, your person, are like a Page of Pentacles here, and and aside from this one that popped out, this is the only court card here. Okay, so this describes your person mostly. So they're seeing a life with you from childlike innocence. Like they're starting. They want to look at things realistically, and they want to be considerate of all the things that are important, all resources, from love, coin, inner resources, things that they might admire about you, everything, right? And they're just like they're a little afraid of what they have to do to work on it. They seem to be also hesitant about what it would take to grow this. But see, this is fertility. So your person sees you as somebody who has to deal with some priorities. You're weighing and considering. And, okay, so let's find out why this card popped out. The Queen of Wands. Well, is your person very magnetic, good-looking, those types of things? Because that suggests to me that not only is your person a Page of Pentacles, but they're also a Queen of Wands. But I have yet to see how how the presence of this Queen really impacts this reading, right? I think I know. All right, all right. I think that what you're worried about has to do with, and I don't know if they're causing this insecurity in you, but I think that you worry that they see you as not measuring up, and they are noticing that that might be some type of a hang up or something like that with you. So it could be some work if you have some, maybe they're sensing you have some, perhaps some trauma or whatever that you've endured, and they have to be very careful with your feelings. I'm not saying, oh, you're so precious and they have to worry about your feelings because you're broke. No, 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 no. But I do see them as, but see, they think of you as very strong. I think that they know that you're capable of being your fourth pillar, so they actually admire you. They know that you've managed to come back from whatever has happened. And this could also be something that happened in a prior relationship with someone else. It's not necessarily a childhood trauma and, oh, woe is you. I'm not saying that. And I hope you know that sometimes when I get into these readings, I want to be honest with you, but I don't want to sugarcoat anything, but I also don't want to give you any false sense of negativity. At the heart of my readings is always compassion. All right, because the sooner you can get to the point of compassion in a reading, then you know that you're onto the right track. Because when I'm sensing judgment, why is this person, I know I'm on the wrong track, because at the heart of everyone's motivation is something understandable, and until we can get to that, we're not on the right path. I hope that makes sense. And that might be why you're drawn to me, because I get that. Okay, and I'm not saying other people don't, but maybe it's just a matter of personal preference of how people live their lives. But I also say you have the right to walk away from a situation, certainly. But I can't help but wonder if by honoring your feelings that you want to see things through instead of just moving on because, well, this person doesn't deserve me, blah, blah, blah. And that may be true. But man, so many times we're just stuck with these things that we just don't know, right? So there's a card here from the Angels, Deception. Somebody's wearing a mask, but that kind of makes sense. If you are afraid on some level that your person might judge you, you might be trying to appear more on top of things than you actually are and not showing your vulnerability, or vice versa. Your person is doing that. They might, and also there's things called projection. So it could also be that what your person is seeing in you could be unfairly projecting something that they themselves are feeling. So keep that in mind as well. And let's see, what reconciliation. So it does appear to me that there is some cause to believe that there's going to be, actually I'm going to put this here. There's going to be a reconciliation, and this is a soulmate type of card. So whatever fears you have, about this one being the right person, right? I want you to keep in mind that whether you were together in a past life or in this life, maybe you had a different type of relationship before and you've been in a relationship since and you're coming back around, whatever the case may be. This is very much like the Judgment card, and I see you guys working things through. And see, with soulmates, it kind of makes sense that no matter who's working through some issues in their lives, sometimes our soulmates, and I know there's the twin flames and the soulmates and different variations on, but when I talk about soulmates, I'm talking about any variety, no matter which specific definitions that you're looking at. I'm talking about the fact that no matter who these people are in your life, there's a potential for helping each other grow and have a more rich experience in our lives, right? And and you know what? This one suggests to me that we're onto something with the whole. Now it says addictions when we talk about codependency, but I want you to keep in mind when I see this card, I am seeing more likelihood of childhood traumas, which can also come up with the children card, or anything having to do with family issues. But it's more about with this card. It's more about how it manifests. So. There may be a fear, like I said, of, all the work and growing it. You're afraid of a tower moment. So it may be if one of you or both of you are dealing with something that, and addictions can be, being overly sensitive. It could be overly hung up on someone. It can be, of course, it could be substance as well. I mean, you can even make a codependency out of exercise. Okay, I've seen it happen before. I mean, I always say that I can't think of how could that be bad, but it actually can be when things are out of control and it becomes more what's the word, compulsive, right? So maybe there's some type of behavior, perhaps not even both of your parts, that there's some compulsivity. And, we all have that to a certain degree, so I don't want to make too much of it. But, you know what, before I pull a card from my deck, I want to see what... Here, let me shuffle these real quick. I want to see if we can get any better answers. I didn't want to get too up in your business, so let's see if we can get some clarity on what's going on with this codependency. And it probably has to do with the deception as well. The deception, again, sometimes necessary. We wear masks on purpose to before we're ready to get into something that we don't want to talk about quite yet. Okay, so the card that comes out to help me understand and help me help you is This is suggesting that, okay, one or both of you are very defensive. Okay, so I don't think there's substance abuse going on here, and it may or may not be childhood trauma related, but there is a strong defensiveness. So that could be what is. But I want you to keep in mind, if you stick with it, to me, this is saying there's going to be a reconciliation, that you guys are soulmates, and your concerns about it. I think you have the right idea. You guys are meant to be. It's just that, because the card is on the table. It's on deck. Just because it's upside down. When I read cards, it's not because that energy is the opposite. It just means that it's either like latent, it's on its way, it's not quite happening yet. There's a fear of it, avoidance of it, those kinds of things. But see, I can definitely see. What I can recommend is maybe looking at ways to de-escalate, because sometimes when we try to explain our side to somebody, it puts them on the defensive. Even all you're doing is explaining yourself, right? You just want them to understand. And even if you're thinking they're in agreement with you, you could be preaching to the choir, and they're still feeling the defensive, because for some reason the way we humans communicate, when we try to explain something to somebody, it's like, and I have to worry about that when I do these videos. I'm like, okay, if I'm explaining this to someone, it's going to put them on the defensive. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Right? Okay, so that's one thing to consider. And also, if there is any trauma going on with you guys, I highly recommend looking at the grieving process a little stronger, because I think that people who deal with, CPTSD and PTSD often have to, every time they get triggered, they have to go through this grieving process, right? So being aware of that is always good, because you're going to deal with people in your life like that, whether or not your person is or not even. But because I'm seeing this, I'm suggesting maybe having a better understanding of what you're dealing with, because if you did want to walk away, it'd be better to understand what it is that you're walking away from, right? And last but not least, my personal deck of cards, which is usually a message. Well, not usually. It's a message. It's a message from your person, not from the spirit guides, not from the angels who know the higher. This is your person who is not in those higher realms. And we had a couple of jumpers. We got 3 jumpers. Wow. Okay. So we'll just read them all. Okay, I don't know why all 3 of them, but okay. I've gotten 2 before like that, but it's very rare I get 3. I mean, it's the first time I've gotten 3. So, well, hey, I did say that we might have an interesting reading, right? I'm gonna assume that it's in the order that they dropped. So, you feel like home to me. So again, this is from your person, and it's what they would say to you, or what they're saying in their mind, even if they wouldn't say to you, and it doesn't represent what the spirit guides and angels and everybody knows, okay? And it's just things that have crossed their mind. They may never even want it to see the light of day. At least we should be friends. So they definitely, you know what? You guys have a connection, and your person knows that. I feel drawn to you, but I need more time to process our past. Consider how we can or should move forward. Okay, so whether or not it's your past with each other or pasts individually, there's something about your person going through a process, which again, I can't help but suggest the grieving process, just to go and have a reminder checkup. Just look it up online and kind of just peruse the steps of the grieving process. And also, if I find a way to get unstuck, if I had a guarantee we work, okay, I'd find a way to get unstuck if I had a guarantee we work. So all I can offer for now is friendship with no promises. Well, you know what? I'm seeing this twice. So here's the thing. It is better than jumping into something heavy. Especially if there are some issues that either one of you or both of you have. You have to be very careful and very compassionate with each other, and bringing all that energy of something more intense, something hot and heavy ahead of getting ahead of yourselves could be more detrimental. So, learning how to not be defensive with each other, right? Because people who've been hurt on that level, especially when they were children, sometimes respond very, they can be very defensive. And it's not that they're trying to be argumentative. They're not as confident as they could be. But see, if you guys are soulmates, then you're going to help heal each other, or you're here to heal that person, or they're here to heal you. You have that connection, and at the other side of that, you could have the most beautiful relationship. That's because, look, you're their wish fulfillment. All right, I don't know if this is everybody's story, but please don't dislike if this is not your story. Sometimes I need to tell the story that some people need to hear the most, or perhaps it's a story that is most prevalent right now. I'm hoping that if it wasn't your story, you see variations on this story that represent how you see things with your person. So definitely hit like and subscribe. And if for any reason you don't like something, by all means, you can hit dislike something other than it not being your story, because you can go to other energies that you might be working in. I especially recommend your placement in Venus as the next place to go if this story seems very off to you. But for those who do find something off-putting about how I do this or what I say, or you find something about what I'm saying that seems conflicting or too confusing or whatever, hey, I would love the feedback, and I would see it constructively. I would not get defensive about it because I really want to do the best job that I can for you guys. So always, and please feel free to tell me in the comments if you do have some other variation of the story. And you know what, Pisces? I think it was worth the wait because I was really able to get in and understand a very complicated web of a story for you guys. All right, till next time.